there, I am to the final stages of this small painting. You can see me doing it as a time lapse, and I will be posting that on my Instagram feed and possibly here on YouTube. But this is the final stage. It's where I go in with different kinds of mediums, and here I'm working with a graphite pencil. I'll also use colored pencils, acrylic markers, water-soluble crayons, and basically what I'm doing is just trying to make the painting just pop, emphasize some of the details that I'm seeing in it, just making it a little bit more helpful for the viewer to be able to see. A lot of times, as in here, I'm working the same colors over the same colors. For example, pink over pink, different shades of, but basically the same colors are the same colors. A lot of times is what I'm doing. So I've worked through this painting and finished this little video, and I actually ended up doing a little bit more to it at the top left-hand corner. I really felt like it needed to be a little bit lighter. I felt like it needed some more of those grays that you're seeing in there. So I will, of course, photograph this final painting, and you will be able to see it either on my website, elizabethchapmanartwork.com, or on Instagram as well. But just trying to do a few more videos. I know I get requests for seeing me work in progress, and it's a little bit difficult to be watched as you're painting, and I know I'm not really being watched, but just having the camera on feels like I'm being watched, and so it has a tendency to intimidate me just a little bit. So my goal is to just turn the camera on more often and record some of these sessions where I'm painting. This is sitting at my desk, which I do large paintings and small paintings. I mostly will work on my large paintings in the mornings, and I do work layer through layers, so I can work on a large painting for about a week, and I will complete one a week. In the small paintings, I do more as a chill out relaxation type of thing. I'm oftentimes listening to their podcast, or lately it's been audio books, and they're more like a chill type of time for me, and I enjoy that as well. This is a little canvas that I'm working on. A lot of what I do is also on paper, and of course you can see all of these on my website in the small painting category. So here I am working with the water-soluble crayons, and see what the names of these. These are the Neocolor 2s, and these are my favorites. Now this is the acrylic marker I'm back to. But I love the Neocolor 2s because, as I said, they're water soluble. I usually dip them in water, and it gives kind of a softer type of a blend, or you can just take your fingers. You'll probably see me doing that as well to soften them up, because I don't really like the crayon look. I like for it to be more blended. And I will do the same thing with these acrylic markers. Sometimes you'll see me using my finger or paper towel just to kind of back them up a little bit, soften them up somewhat. Then, as you can see right here, I'm going through now with a little bit of a darker color, kind of wanting to create a little bit more depth in some of these areas. And so, I mean, this one is coming along. As I have said, towards the end, after I took a photograph of it and looked at it, I realized that the top left needed a little bit more work, and so I did go back in and paint some more, and then rephotographed it, so you'll see that in the end here. And so this is pretty much it. You can see the paint off to the side. That's where I mix my paints at, working with acrylic paints. I use a variety of different kinds of brands too. I do love the Nova paints for their color saturation and their price. I also love working with the heavy body Goldens, are actually my very favorites, and that's just because of course I love the saturated color, but I also like texture, and I like the thickness of the heavy bodies, so I work with those as well. I've worked with Liquitex, and I also work with Golden Liquids, so, and I will work with gesso for my mixing white, although towards the end of a painting, oftentimes I will go to a titanium white, and that is with my Goldens, and I will use that to get a more of a white. Sometimes I really like that at the very end to kind of have a little bit more of a pop in my white areas. I work on contrast when I'm painting. I'm thinking about how I can create contrast, or how I can emphasize more contrast. This one, as you can see, with the dark towards the right hand side, is creating a good amount of contrast against the whites. And of course I love color. If you take a look at all of my paintings on my website, you will see I'm mostly all in color. Now and then I will go to working with neutrals. It's kind of like a cleansing. I sometimes feel like a more lighter, minimal type of painting style. So now and then some of those will be mixed in, but for the most part, I work with lots of color, kind of a whimsical, happy type of painting style. So I am here, really, as I said, towards the end, and not moving quite as fast, so I'm really slowing down. And usually when that happens, I'm running out of ideas and probably coming more towards finishing this off and letting it go. But I'm still trying to find things to work with.
It was apparent she was trying to gather position. She put out her hand. It was so nice to see you.
Thinking.
George, I'm glad you sat and visited us. Maybe I'll see you at the wedding this weekend.
So here we go. Looks like I have found something else. Okay, I'm going to emphasize that kind of a salmon colored pink. I'm going to pull that out a little bit more. And as you can see, it's so water soluble. Sometimes I get too much water on there, and they tend to run a little bit. So I'm dabbing it to take some of that out. And oftentimes when I work on an area, I will also use that same color in another area of the painting. As you can see, I went down to the bottom left-hand side here with that same color. It's just a way of tying it together by using it in different areas. So what do you think at this point? It's looking really pretty done. I think I'm going to be going in and emphasizing a little bit more of that orange circle there. Here I go. Pulling it out, and I'm pretty sure I go and do that top one too, to kind of pop that out just a little bit more. In the end here, it really becomes, the changes are really subtle, but sometimes they can make the biggest difference. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to go in with an orange marker here on that top horizontal circle, and it really makes it really pop. And this is actually just a piece of chalk, pastel chalk that was sitting off to the side, almost a fluorescent type of color, and I thought, well, why not? Let's just see what it will do. And I tried a few spots, and I absolutely just loved it. It adds a little bit more of a contrast in a different way than white does. And when I'm working, I'm not just thinking of contrast and values. Obviously, that's the most obvious, but I'm also thinking of contrast in different sizes of shapes and lines, and even types of style within the painting. You know, sometimes I'll have like a real minimal type of an area against an area that's really got lots going on. And here I'm turning it upside down. I will often do this. I know for sure that this painting is going to work best in the flipped over in the way you saw me working on it originally. But when I flip things over, when I turn them, it gives me a new perspective of that painting, and helps me to many times find things that I wouldn't have found or wouldn't even attempted when the painting was turned. And also, sometimes I work in more areas than other areas just because just the way I am. So when I flip it and I turn it, it forces me to work on another area of that painting and give it a little bit more time and love. So I'm working on that top. Now it's the bottom right-hand corner. As I told you earlier, it's the top left when you turn it, and I will eventually go back into that again and continue to work on it. Here I'm thinking that I'm getting it and I'm done with it, but when I turned it and looked at it some more, when the camera was off, it wasn't enough for me, so I had to go back in and work on it some more. Yeah, so turning it upside down now here has helped me to pull some of that. It's kind of like an alizarin down, and some of that gray that I'm putting in there, I also went back in and you put it in that top left-hand corner that I've been speaking about, that I continue to work on. I also added some of that in there along with the more white. So you'll have to look at my painting on the website, small painting category, to see the final version of this, unless I figure out how to tag that onto the end of this video that I hope to be posting on YouTube. So, working on those grays a little bit more, and coming right to the last of this here, minus that top left-hand corner, and there I'm working on it again, and thinking I'm done, but later I don't think I'm done, and I have to work on it some more. Anyway, this is it. I hope that this inspires and you've enjoyed watching this. Again, this is the final stage of this little painting. I worked on it yesterday for probably an hour, just laying down the very first part of it, which you saw at the beginning. And usually these little ones, a couple, 3 hours is what I put into them. And this is my favorite part, actually, is working with the details. It's like I really see the whole thing just beginning to click together, and I really enjoy that a lot. It seems like it's a place I can go to where I can actually make sense of it all, and I guess it's my favorite part, is finishing it off and seeing that it's going to work. Minus that left top corner. And here I go with the marker that I was speaking about. And as I'm doing this, it's kind of hard to see from the distance here, but as I'm doing it, it really, I could tell that it really emphasized it and made it really come forward and popped it, and I like that. So thank you for viewing, and I hope that you will continue to follow me, and I am going to try and continue to make more videos and place them on video here on YouTube and for you. So thank you for watching me. Happy painting!